Hey guys, what's up? This is CGstuff. Today I'm going to show you my new application, Universal Library. And what this application allows you to do is saving meshes, rigs, grease pencil, all types of asset and reuse them inside Blender. Kind of like the asset browser, it's more flexible though. Now the idea is that, let me show you first of all. Like Action Library, you just run it. It shows you a wizard, and you can install the Blender integration directly from inside. But today I'm just going to use the development build. So I'm going to open it. And when you install the Blender integration over here, you just verify Blender, install add-on, and everything will be set up for you automatically. You don't need to fill this. Automatically, the add-on will be activated for you. Your storage location will be activated for you. You can change it, of course, later, but you just need to repoint the word storage is. And over here, the exe will be pointed for you. Of course, I'm using a development build, but don't worry about that. Let's just start showing some stuff. So I'm just going to add a simple cube. All right, nothing special. And over here in my add-ons, I have the Universal Library integration. It allows me to open the application. All right. It also allows me to export objects. What kind of objects? Let's start with meshes. So I have this cube. I want to export it. So if I export the cube, it's going to tell me what you want to name it, asset type. I usually leave this all of these by default. I just change the name. So I'm just going to call it cube for now. All right. I'm going to click OK. So when I open the app, it's going to show me that I have a cube right now. Cool. So let's say I want to make some changes to my cube. I'm going to like just let's say add small. That's it. And I'm going to add a material to it. I'm going to make it red. And I'm going to, let's say, go to this mode. All right. So if I export my cube, it's going to tell me that you have version 1 and it's going to become version 2. Cool. So I'm going to click OK. Of course, you can save it as a new asset. You have to change the name though. That's very important. I am going to keep it at version 2, basically, like as a new version. I'm going to click OK. So when I reopen the app, it's still the same asset, but it's a different version. Let's just keep going. I'm going to just do something fast, right? And I'm going to apply another material on it, only on those faces, nothing special. I'm going to export it again, so as a new version. Cool. So now we have technically 3 versions of this cube. If I open the app, again, you can see that it's updated. It's going to be version 3. And if I go to lineage, kind of like the Action Library, you're going to see that we have this window. It's going to be showing you version 1, version 2, and version 3. Awesome. So what can we do? If I go, let's say, press new, general, all right, it's going to go to my asset library plugin. I'm going to open the app, and I'm going to, let's say, import it as an instance or as a link. With meshes, you usually want to use instance. Of course, we have the edit button. The edit button is essentially append. All right. So if I want to make changes to my, let's say, cube and continue incrementing it, you can use edit. So if I edit, it's going to drop in my cube and I can continue. Just let's say, just do something really quick. Gonna like, let's say, do this. Let's say, do that, do this. And then I'm going to export my cube. Again, I want this, this view. And I'm going to, actually, let me show you something. Let's say I did export it like this. All right. And I open the app. Notice that now my thumbnail is gray. But what if I want to update my thumbnail? Over here, you have something called a frame helper. And you can, like, let's say, go to this specific view, click here, and then capture thumbnail. All right. So if I open the app, you can see that your thumbnail now updated. All right. So you can disable the frame helper. Awesome. But right now it's appended. I don't really care much for it. I want it to be an instance. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to click on asset library. All right. And now I'm going to import it as an instance, not as an appendant. Of course, if you can append it, that's really up to you. So I'm going to click on instance. I'm going to import. And right now I have my cube imported. Awesome. Let me save this file just to show you guys something. So now this file has been saved. And now if I go to new, general, if I delete, I'm going to go back to my asset library. I'm going to click launch it. So if I continue editing this cube, because right now I basically essentially linked version 4 as an instance. If I continue editing it, right, let's say do more crazy edits. And this is technically a new version if I export it, all right? So if I export it, now we have version 5, all right? But remember, we technically linked version 4, all right? So if I go back to my asset library, we have version 5. And remember, since we linked version 4, we didn't really link version 4, we linked version current. So the system is smart enough to understand. If I go back to test 1, notice that it updated, okay? So this is very cool for, let's say, set dressing and stuff like that. But remember, we're working with a cube with a mesh. Okay, so now let's do something more interesting. I have this character. Let's assume that you guys are modeling a character. You want to rig it later, but first we're going to start with the modeling stage. So let's assume that this is like a model character. I want to like take it to the library for safekeeping. I'm going to click on the hair and on the body, and because you can take several meshes and it can register as one asset in my library. All right, so I'm going to export objects. All right, I'm going to click OK. I'm going to open the library, and notice that we have, let's say, the grayscale of this character. Cool. And then let's assume that I textured it. Okay, cool, magically textures appeared. So I'm going to export the object again as version 2. And okay, we open the library again. Notice that we have now version 2. Great. So let's assume that now we're ready for rigging. I'm gonna just, to prove it to you guys, that I'm gonna open a new file. I'm gonna click here, do this, and I'm going to open the desktop application. And since I'm rigging now, I don't need to take it as an instance or a link. I'm just going to edit, which is essentially appending, and I'm going to rig this using AutoRig Pro. I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so now I'm done rigging this character with AutoRig Pro, and for demonstration purposes, I'm going to, let's say, show you something. I've done this intentionally. This is a broken rig, and let's assume that you guys are like in a studio. Someone is, let's say, rigging, and the other is animating, and you receive this rig and you want to animate it, and you realize, like, wait a minute, the rigger is pulling a prank on me. What's going on? What's the deal? And you go tell him like, no, this is not gonna do. And he's like, all right, no problem. And then, because here's the thing, let's say I exported this rig as version 1. I go to my library. I'll show you something. I'm gonna click new, general, don't save. And in my library, I'm gonna click refresh. I have this rig. In order to, let's say, start animating, I'm going to import as this rig, and I'm gonna make it basically. I'm gonna library override. And then when I start working, I'm like, wait a minute, something is weird. This rig is not cool. The rigger is probably pulling a prank on me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to save this in a test file, right? And I go complain to my rigger. It's like, hey, something's weird. Can you fix it? He's like, yeah, no problem. I was just joking around. And then over here, what you do is you go back, you open your asset library. Well, the rigger opens his asset library, and instead of editing, he can just, instead of linking, he can just append it, and it's going to come appended correctly. All right. So over here, we just go back to AutoRig Pro, we grab everything, we do this, and then we bind it correctly. And now we check that, yes, everything is correct. So now, if I go back to my asset library, I'm going to export, but now I'm going to export it as version 2, all right? So if I go back to my test folder, to my test file, it's working correctly. It's linked, everything, the references are correct, and it's all good. So yeah, that's pretty much how it works in a sense. Let me just show you guys a few things in my asset library. We can export scenes, we can export collections, and we can basically have the frame helper to help us do capture thumbnails. Other than that, we can also do something cool. So let me just show you something. I'm gonna make a new file. Again, I'm gonna make, like, let's say, a cone. Let's say I have this actually icosphere. So now, if I go to my asset library, I'm gonna see that this cone, this icosphere, has 3 versions. What I can also do is, if I go back to my file, again, I'm gonna just make a general file, delete. Other than the fact that I can link it and instance it, I'm going to click on this icosphere. I'm going to edit. I'm going to essentially append it. Now let's do like some tweaks. Let's say I have, let's say, a material on all of it, right? It's let's say blue, maybe, whatever. And then I want to grab only the faces and make them, let's say, purple, right? Cool. Here's the thing. I don't want to make this as a new version. I want to make this as a variant of the original, what's it called? Asset, all right? So when I export, I'm going to click new variant, and I'm going to give this variant, I don't know, a name. So I'm just going to call it variant. You guys can call it whatever you want. All right, I'm going to click it, icosphere skin 1, because, what if you guys are making skins for video games, or a character, a rig, and then the other rig is like the hands are cut off and you only want to see the face in a specific shot, because when you're linking, you can only link one character per shot. You can't link the other, all right? So you can just save it as a variant, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna click OK, and then when I export the next time, it's going to tell you that, oh, this is a variant version 1. Do you want to continue saving as version 2? And you're like, yes. So when I open the app, now you have variant, sorry, the base and the variant. And if you click on the view lineage, you can see that this has version 1, version 2, and it's variant that descended from version 3. So basically variant version 1, version 2, etc. And you can see the branch points only. So that's pretty cool. Over here, you can also group by families. Basically, like, this began here, and then you can also click on the list. It makes you a list, and then when you click again, it's gonna show you also the descent point, because this is the base, and then it has a variant. So yeah, essentially this is it. This is Universal Library, and I hope you guys like it. The link is in the description, and have fun with it.